The butterfly effect is actually insane. Because if I never had a 3M craving for Taco Bell for years ago, none of this would have happened. That night, I ordered a cheesy gordita, crunch, and drove to the nearest Taco Bell. I pulled into the drive-thru, rolled up to the window, and that's when it happened. I laid eyes on the most beautiful woman I had ever seen in my life. She opened the window and said, "Your total will be $10.68. And I had absolutely zero game back then. I just stared at her, completely blank. Eventually, I snapped back to reality, handed her my debit card, and for some reason felt the need to explain that my card didn't have tap and that she had to use the chip. After handing it to her, I said, "Oh, stick it in." The moment the words left my mouth, my soul left my body. In my head, I'm thinking, what did I just say? I know my ancestors were watching this moment in disappointment. She pauses, looks at me, and says, "Oh, I will." I almost passed away. She handed me my card, gave me my food, said, "Have a good one." And I drove off completely confused about the vibes of that interaction. But somehow, it didn't feel like a total loss. A week later, I got another Taco Bell craving and went back to the same drive-thru. I pulled up to the mobile order lane and heard a voice ask, "What's the name on the order?" I just knew it was her. I pulled up to the window, and yep, it was her. Just as beautiful as before. Now, had my game improved since last week? Dear viewer, no. The first thing I said was, "Hey, remember me? I'm the stick-it-in guy." I knew I fumbled immediately. I thought it was over. But then she laughed and said, "Wait, I do remember you. That was actually really funny. You made my night." I was stunned. I asked her name, and she said, "Sydney. Nice to meet you." There was no one behind me, so we chatted for about 20 seconds. The vibes were good, like, really good. I thought, you know what? I'll ask her out next week. What do I have to lose? The next week, I didn't even have a Taco Bell craving. I just went. But as I was pulling into the parking lot, I noticed something weird on the sidewalk outside. I saw one guy get right up in another guy's face. Then he pushed him, and it clicked. I was witnessing a robbery. My brain immediately went, what if I save this guy? Then go into Taco Bell and tell Sydney about my heroic actions. So I parked, got out, and walked toward them. I said, "Hey." The guy robbing him looked at me for a second, snatched the wallet from the other guy's hands, and started running straight toward me. That's when I got a good look at his face. No mask. Clear as day. And then everything went black. I woke up on the ground with a pounding headache. The guy who had just been robbed was standing over me, checking on me. Turns out the robber had clocked me clean across the head. One punch. Lights out. He didn't even rob me. He just knocked me out and dipped. I didn't go into Taco Bell that day. There was no way I was letting Sydney see me like that. I went home and sat with what happened for weeks. My confidence was gone. I felt weak and worthless. So I decided to join a boxing gym the next day. I met with a coach and told him I wanted to get stronger, build confidence, and stop feeling like a bum. I trained constantly, every day, sometimes every other day. I kept going for years. Eventually, my coach said he saw potential and suggested I try some local exhibition fights. Low stakes, mostly recreational. I agreed. I started competing and actually did pretty well. Most fights were close, but I kept winning. After 6 or 7 months, my coach said, "Let's raise the stakes. Next fight has $100 cash prize." I figured, why not? Fight night came. A few matches happened before ours, and then I stepped into the ring. That's when I saw my opponent's face. Time stopped. It was him. The same guy who knocked me out outside Taco Bell years ago. I told myself, there's no way. But then I locked in. And then something unexpected happened. I heard a girl in the crowd yell, "Hit him, babe." I looked out. It was Sydney. But she wasn't cheering for me. She was cheering for him. Before I could process it, we touched gloves and the bell rang. He rushed me. I panicked. I froze. I felt like that same kid on the sidewalk again. Weak, powerless. The bell rang. Round 1 was over. I had thrown maybe 3 punches in the corner. My coach grabbed my shoulders and asked what was wrong. I started tearing up. "It's him," I said. "He's the one." My coach already knew the story. He looked at me and said, "Son, show him the monster he created." Something snapped. Round 2 started. Everything became clear. He rushed me again and threw the same haymaker that knocked me out years ago. This time, my body moved on instinct. I slipped under the punch and fired an uppercut straight to his jaw. He stumbled back. I saw fear in his eyes. I closed the distance. Jab, hook, jab, jab. Everything landed. I finished it with a haymaker of my own. He dropped. The ref counted to 10. I won by knockout. After the fight, I grabbed my $100 and headed out. That's when I saw Sydney walking alone. I ran up to her and said, "Sydney, hey, I don't know if you remember me." She smiled and said, "Oh, I'm not Sydney. I'm her twin sister." She explained Sydney got married last year, congratulated me on the fight, apologized that I knocked out her boyfriend. Then she handed me a mint. Wintergreen icebreakers. I really liked them. So now, I keep wintergreen icebreakers in my car at all times. And if I never had that Taco Bell craving all those years ago, I never would have learned how much I love icebreakers. Thanks for watching. Come back for some more real Reddit reads.